The following is a presentation of the Pro Wrestling Report, TV and radio. Informative, entertaining, and real since 1998.
Coming up next, it's the Pro Wrestling Report, PrimeTime Television. We talk about the bizarre situation with Matt Hardy from his YouTube post of earlier in the week. Also, the big Raw announcement from Monday night that the brands shall collide, and Super Smackdown from Tuesday, along with an interview with the president of Ring of Honor Wrestling, Cary Silkin. All that and so much more, right now, right here on the Pro Wrestling Report, PrimeTime Television.
This is the Pro Wrestling Report, Primetime TV, the longest-running pro wrestling news program in the world, with your hosts, David Hero and Damian Nelson.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report, Primetime Television for Thursday, September 1st, 2012.
The new
You looking
set,
for Tiny Kimpa?
the new set better have that. All I should have to do is go like this, and it'll drop.
Damian Nelson here alongside David Hero, and David, a lot to get to this week, including some stories that, quite frankly, I don't really want to talk about, and that's going to be our lead story, actually, which is this whole bizarre situation that surfaced 2 days ago from Matt Hardy, who posted a video that was titled Goodbye on YouTube, and certainly gave the impression that he was no longer going to be with us on this planet, including his birth date and the current date. This video spurred a lot of controversy on Twitter, on all kinds of social media networks, and on YouTube, where the video has since been removed, and also with the local authorities near his home after they received some 20 to 30 911 calls to check on his well-being, which they did. Now, Matt Hardy has since said, David Hero, that this was not a suicide note, and never said the word suicide, and never said the word of committing suicide or taking his own life. However, the question that certainly comes from this, which came from a lot of fans, came from a lot of others out there as well in the business, how far is too far? And from my opinion, too far was made clearly evident as to its definition this past Tuesday.
You can tell that his friends and family have had enough.
Uh-huh.
Jeff Hardy's wife tweets out there, it's knock it off, calls him out on it. His good, close personal friend, Hurricane Shane Helms, tweets out, don't believe the hype.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I thought it was a great night of Super Smackdown. I'm watching.
Timing was great, though, wasn't it?
Absolutely, it's all about timing. I'm watching the Twitter feed, blah, blah, blah. All of a sudden, boom.
Boom, boom.
I'm like, it says goodbye. I'm like, oh boy. I click. And a part of me is like, okay, hoax, rib, whatever, not going to happen. And then it's like, wait a minute, we're talking about the wrestling business, where you can't really believe anything.
Not even the hype.
No. So, right away, pick up the phone. I call Matt on his cell phone. No answer, goes to voicemail. Ugh.
Things aren't looking so good.
You know, because I'm like, okay, well, maybe he's just screwing around, turns his phone off for a better reaction.
When you say timing's everything, the accident, the arrest, the injury, the firing, then this.
Right. So then I call him on his home number. And I'm not going to say who answered or who said what, but my mind was then put at ease that nothing was going to happen.
Benson answered?
Jeebs.
Kraus? Gretchen?
Euchre. Who was he? Belvedere. So, I didn't think it was my place to then go on Twitter and say anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it's not. It's not my story. I'm not going to be the guy that exposes the whole thing. I'm not going to get involved in the middle of it. And then shortly after that, Shane Helms sends out the tweet, don't believe the hype. You know, Beth Hardy shoots out, goes off. And I've known Matt since 1997. I like Matt Hardy. I like the Matt Hardy that I know. This guy is freaking Looney Tunes. I don't get it. I mean, he's made millions. He's adored by millions.
It was.
Still is.
Definitely, though.
Listen, he gained like 400-some followers since last night.
Well, how could you not? An artist's value increases, right?
But you know what I'm saying is like, Matt Hardy, for the love of God, for the love of your family and all your friends and fans, you really need to get yourself set straight.
Clearly, this was a publicity stunt, as Matt Hardy has since said and posted a new video called Genesis, that he was never going anywhere. This was the...
I bet TNA's thought about that.
This was the departing of the old Matt Hardy and the welcoming of the new Matt Hardy. But David Hero, you got to wonder, as I said, too far, too far. A lot of negative feedback for this particular stunt from Matt Hardy, from a man who millions love him, yes, but there's a good number of people who don't like him as well. As with any public figure, this may have been the tipping point for some of those fans.
And who's going to want to bring him in for, a job right now? TNA's not going to bring him back. There's no way in blue hell Vince is going to bring him back. I mean, he'll be doing indies in Japan. Maybe Mexico.
They say that bad press is good press. This press has helped nobody.
Okay. Sure, Michael Vick may have gotten $100 million for killing a bunch of dogs.
Well,
okay.
He served his time. He paid his debt to society.
Yeah, and he got paid handsomely right back. Yes, people are forgiven. Time does heal all. But imagine all of the kids and all of the fans that believed it and broke their hearts.
And called 911.
Exactly. I was reading some of those tweets from people. A lot of them honestly thought it was over, and they were threatening their own lives. If you kill yourself, I'm going to go with you. Holy crap.
The damage could be irreparable. And we had a lot of people asking via the PWR show about this situation, and after speaking to you, I decided that it's not even worth talking about, and struggled with whether or not we were actually going to talk about it on this program, but needed to, I think.
It's the pink elephant in the room. How can you not?
I thought it was white.
No, it's pink.
I can't in any fashion see how this could have been consciously decided upon by Matt to be a good thing to do.
Well, it happens after Super Smackdown.
Immediately following.
It is the eve of his brother's 34th birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting timing.
Well, you've spoken out for sure as it pertains to this situation, and we'll see what's next from Matt Hardy. But again, I still think that this one crossed the line, if you will.
Another TNA reference?
In publicity stunts, as it goes to that. David Harrell, let's talk about Raw from this past Monday night. It was a super show, and we found out that every Raw going forward under the reign of Triple H will be a super show, meaning stars from SmackDown and will be a part of Raw on Monday nights going forward. Now, WWE had canceled several live events on the SmackDown side of things that would occur on Monday nights going forward for the next few weeks, and now we're going to see such great stars as Dolph Ziggler, Mark Henry, the great Khali, Heath Slater, Justin Gabriel, Cody Rhodes, all on Raw on Monday nights.
Cody Rhodes can't get booked on his own show. How's he going to get on Monday nights? Do you know what the thing that was heartbreaking?
They didn't want to blow their load.
Sure, it's in his grooming tips. Anyways, the thing that was heartbreaking for me
Was not seeing Cody Rhodes.
No, is that both shows didn't really miss ADR. You know what I mean?
He admits it, folks.
Well, I'm just saying there's just so much. Now with both shows combined, there's a lot of guys you're not going to miss. I mean, but the WWE champion wasn't on both super shows, and sure, there's visa issues down in Mexico or whatnot.
Mexico.
And the same thing happened. Remember when Wade Barrett?
Yeah.
Right when Nexus was huge.
Right. But didn't they cover it pretty good on SmackDown Tuesday with the Roberto Rodriguez thing?
He did a great job.
Didn't he, though?
What a fantastic job Ricardo Rodriguez did.
If you're him, FCW talent, budding WWE superstar, and you're in the ring cutting a promo with John Cena, does it get any better?
Oh, yeah, he could be cutting a promo with Hulk Hogan.
He's new school, not old school.
Oh, okay. Both shows, I thought Raw was fantastic. I really did. I thought it was well done, well paced. They used everyone who they feel right now is relevant. But where was John Morrison? Mm-hmm. He wasn't there.
Yeah.
A guy that they've been pushing on and off for quite a while.
Right.
I thought Dolph Ziggler shined.
Him and Randy Orton.
I mean, that was a fantastic match. I think they can build off of both of those guys. Randy Orton is by far the best in-ring talent in the industry. And I'll take him right now over AJ Styles, over anybody in TNA.
Kurt Angle?
Anybody. He's that good right now. And Dolph Ziggler is not that far behind. Those two guys, what was good is that it was well-paced. They told a story. You really thought Dolph Ziggler had a chance to win at times. That doesn't happen very often on a Raw or SmackDown show.
Not at all. So you feel this is a good move. Now, we didn't hear
absolutely.
On the SmackDown side of things whether that would carry over and we would see Raw stars on SmackDown. But SmackDown's in a bit of flux right now, too, because it might be going live on Tuesdays going forward on the Sci-Fi Network.
That is the best thing they could possibly do because, let's face it, come Friday, you forget that it's even going to be on Friday night. But they can promote angles and push angles on Monday that will then carry over to Tuesday on a live SmackDown. They're going to keep the same audience. They may drop a little bit, but not much. If they want to truly grow the product and make SmackDown relevant and showcase the young stars, which, by the way, Wade Barrett looks like a freaking monster. There's no reason why that guy should not be a top star on SmackDown.
You talk about the ratings. SmackDown saw its biggest rating since February this past Tuesday night with a 2.2 rating, about 3.5 million or 3.2 million viewers. Nothing to sneeze at, of course, from WWE. But the question is, does it put the shows on equal terms? Does Raw equal SmackDown? Does SmackDown equal Raw? Not if SmackDown were to go live, because I think you get closer in that scenario.
No,
we don't know the full answer to that
because they have Randy Orton on SmackDown. Okay, it's Randy Orton, and then everybody else.
Randy Orton, The Miz, Cody Rhodes.
No. We're talking SmackDown.
Oh, Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes, Mark Henry, Christian.
Cody Rhodes is. Everyone else is like
the Intercontinental Champion's number 2, historically.
A distant number 2.
But number 2 is number 2.
Then you go on Raw. You got Cena, Punk, H, ADR, Miz. It's a lot more star heavy.
But the stars are on both.
They're not going to be on SmackDown, though. Maybe once in a while they'll make a cameo, but it's a super show on Monday nights. And you know why? It's because they're not selling out every Monday Night Raw. Now they will.
Yeah.
When you get to see Randy Orton and John Cena and the rest of the gang, Batman and Robin and the rest of the Super Friends.
In their new or their old costumes?
And the new ones now.
What does it mean?
Cody could be Aquaman.
He's not blonde.
He could be.
Doesn't have a staff either. What does this mean for the WWE and World Championships, though? Obviously, if you've got this ambiguity between the brands,
it's only on one show.
For now.
They need.
Okay, fine. Then what do you do with? Okay, if the SmackDown stars are going to be appearing on Raw, doesn't that dilute the value of the World Heavyweight Championship?
Not at all.
No.
Do they need certain SmackDown stars?
Do they need World Heavyweight Champion and WWE Champion?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yes.
Why so?
Because you have too many egos in that locker room that need to be fed. And think about it. They sell replica belts.
Oh, got to get rid of the inventory.
Exactly.
Might we see a unification at Night of Champions, or at least a tease of such?
No.
No?
No.
Matches are already set, essentially. But, I'm since 2002 or so, when the brand extension was launched, you've always had that question as to when they're going to reunite the brands again, if they're going to reunite the brands again. And I'm not sure with any foresight as to what that actually meant for the overall company. You have to sort of go back to 1999, 2000, 2001, when SmackDown was on par with Raw as a tape show. Because you had the stars 99, 2000, 2001. The Rock would be on Raw, and he would be on SmackDown, the People show. And you had, a similar feel to the show, even though it was taped, people didn't care.
Hot back then.
Exactly. So, whether it's live, taped, same stars, different stars, it seems like that opportunity is there. Is there more value in doing a SmackDown Super Show every week, or simply moving the show to Tuesday nights where they already tape it and broadcasting it live on Sci-Fi?
I don't know. I think at the end of the day, what this proves is that the young stars, like Alex Riley, fine. Cody Rhodes,
Heath Slater.
Jack Swagger, Heath Slater haven't gotten over.
Right.
You know?
Come on, Cody
you
has.
said
Give
right
him some credit.
at the end
Before
of
I knew what you were agreeing to.
At the end of the day, the guys that Ted DiBiase, you know,
Junior.
fine. I mean, the entire Nexus and the core, they haven't gotten it yet. So they've had no choice now but to combine all the main figures onto one show to make it truly look like the superstars of wrestling.
Valid point. Extremely valid point, which leads to the next question. Let's say they do make Raw and SmackDown the same thing. It's one brand now. Mm-hmm. You got to think that some of those guys aren't going to have a spot anymore on WWE
No,
television.
and you know what? Some of those guys don't deserve a spot on TV right now.
Wow, really?
They don't.
Damn.
Come on, Damian Nelson. You know for a fact.
Talking about David
certain-
Otunga?
It doesn't. Sure. Okay? He definitely does not deserve a spot on TV right now. Some guys just aren't ready. I'm not saying they're not talented.
Right.
It just hasn't all come together yet for them.
And arguably, a lot of these guys who may not be ready, who are prominently featured on WWE programming, are there because of the need to fill the two brands. Now, let's not forget, you say Raw's not selling out. Well, SmackDown's a much worse scenario. Mm-hmm. And you can even put Bret Hart in Calgary and still have half the upper deck tarped off. Now, overall, there's economical issues. Entertainment's not doing as well as it did. UFC's selling out everywhere they go. They haven't taken a bump.
It's completely different.
It is completely different, but it's an entertainment option for consumers. So I think that the economical excuse goes out the window. It just isn't something that 20,000 people on a Monday and a Tuesday night want to see anymore from WWE. Is the only way to get there by combining these brands.
Absolutely. The two figureheads, okay? Cena and
Holla,
Orton.
holla. Oh.
Cena and Orton. That's what that company is built around.
Yeah.
And now you can throw CM Punk in there at the second tier. Punk, you know what? For as good as Punk has been lately, he's now starting to wear thin. Mm-hmm. Okay? To the point where now he's not believable. In the beginning, wow, great promos. Yes, he's taking it to Vince and the corporation. Now it's almost like egotistical and pompous.
But he has, I think a comparison is in order to Steve Austin. Only because, why did Austin get so popular? No, let me finish. Why did Austin get so popular? Anti-establishment, working man, common man, hated everybody, hated everything, was in it for himself. At its core, is that not what CM Punk is attempting to represent?
It is similar, yes.
Exactly. But the difference is the believability factor of a CM Punk has gone down a bit. Stone Cold's continue to go up.
Here's the main difference. You could put Stone Cold headlining a main event and sell out a house show.
In his prime, yes.
You put CM Punk right now, which is in his prime, headlining a house show, 3,000 people.
Is that his fault or WWE's fault?
It's both.
Is it his fault or Triple H's fault?
How can you blame Triple H? Triple H is giving him everything on a silver platter right now.
As he told us this past Tuesday on SmackDown, but
No,
many people said...
I'm saying Triple H is making himself as a character vulnerable.
Exactly.
For CM Punk.
But many people said that the whole reason that the CM Punk thing has started to go downhill a little bit is because Triple H launched himself into the story and then took the spotlight.
Now here's my point. It's because Triple H, if you look at the two standing nose to nose, no pun intended, Hunter, you know Triple H would kill him. There's no way CM Punk could beat Triple H in a fight. He's bigger, he's stronger, he's probably a little bit smarter, he's more of a seasoned veteran. I hate that term, but I'm going to use it.
Punk is a little more cunning.
It doesn't matter. It is the guy that would take a sledgehammer and smack you in the mouth. Okay? It is Triple H, one of the best wrestlers of all time, and then there's CM Punk. Physically, it's night and day. Stone Cold Steve Austin, nose to nose with Triple H. Similar size, similar build, both great ring technicians.
So are you saying that CM Punk falls into that frat boy category you like to talk about?
No, not even the frat boy.
Really?
He's like the greaser from Outsiders or whatever it is. Listen, before this gets blown out of proportion and I get pulpitized on CM Punk, okay? I like CM Punk, okay? I am happy that he is making money and he is over like $1 million. But at the end of the day, okay, it is not believable that he could hold down Triple H's shoulders or Kevin Nash's shoulders for a 3 count. It's not. And that right there you know what? He's going to beat Triple H somehow. And he will eventually somehow beat Kevin Nash. And there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be ecstatic. But at the end of the day, there'll be some people sitting at home watching that and be like, there is no way that could have happened. And that's what hurts the product.
We asked you on Facebook what you thought about the brand extension, so to speak, announced this past Monday night on Raw. And the question was, will it stick? Will this be an end to the brand split between WWE Raw and WWE SmackDown? Well, David Hero, 87% of our Facebook fans said yes, it is the end of the brand extension. 13% saying no.
No, SmackDown is going to be standalone. Raw is going to be the smorgasbord.
Like Ponderosa or Sizzler?
Golden Corral.
Doesn't qualify.
They got like 40 different items.
Yeah, but they're all crap.
Really?
Depends on which one you go to. We're going to take a time out, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the Super SmackDown from this past Tuesday night. Some interesting things you may not have noticed that happened on that program. And then still to come, we've got our interview with ROH President Cary Silkin, and more here on the Pro Wrestling Report, Primetime Television. We'll return in a moment.
This is Jay Lethal of Ring of Honor Wrestling telling you that Pro Wrestling Report is coming to My 24 Milwaukee.
Stop stalking your ex and be our friend on Facebook and join the tremendous worldwide discussion. Facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Report.
Everybody start gasping. I'm ready for the lights, camera, action.
Go! You already know what it is. It's your boy C, right?
The Pro Wrestling Report is coming to My 24 Milwaukee. Join us as we celebrate with Big Sexy Kevin Nash Friday, September 2nd at Showtime Sports Bar on Silver Spring in Milwaukee. And don't miss Ring of Honor Wrestling when it comes to My 24 Milwaukee on September 24th, followed by the Pro Wrestling Report with all the latest news from WWE, TNA, and Ring of Honor Wrestling. The Pro Wrestling Report, My 24, and Ring of Honor coming September 24th. Welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Report, Primetime Television. Damian Nelson here sitting alongside David Hero. And David Hero this Friday night, tomorrow night, in Milwaukee, our hometown, a big night featuring Big Sexy.
Big Sexy Kevin Nash. How about that? You know, the hottest guy, the most talked about guy in wrestling, besides CM
One
Punk,
of them, yeah.
is going to be at Showtime Sports Bar, hanging out. Well, you'll be there. He'll be hanging out with me because you're a CM Punk fan. That's fine, just don't agitate the man, okay? He's coming in doing us a big favor. The launch party for Prime Time on My 24.
And as you heard last week, the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime Television does indeed move to broadcast television.
And you'll all still get to see everything.
On September 24th, exactly. That is explained in intricate detail on our Facebook page. Yes, indeed, and that is following Ring of Honor Wrestling, starting on September 24th in the Milwaukee and southeastern Wisconsin area. So, Kevin Nash on Friday. You can go to blizzardbrawl.com or our Facebook page, as we said, facebook.com/Pro Wrestling Report, to learn more about that and find out how you can participate. It's really a great opportunity, Kevin Nash.
And now that he's going to be a full-time Titan Sports contract signee, he's not going to get many more of these opportunities.
Absolutely. And speaking of Kevin Nash, I think there's something worth discussing, which was that whole segment between him, CM Punk, and Triple H from the Super SmackDown this past Tuesday night, David Hero, where things got a little heated, it seemed, between CM Punk and Triple H at times, and Triple H pretty much laying the law down on CM Punk.
And wound up on his back then, at the end of the night. It's going to be a good match. H and Punk, I'm expecting a good 20-25 minutes out of those two guys. But at the end of the day, is it what the fans really want?
It's a great question. Kevin Nash gets...
Here's the thing. Triple H, in the back of his mind, he's like, yeah, this kid may be hot, he may be doing great. But if Triple H wants to expose Punk, he can.
William Ringo Goldberg?
He could sandbag him a little bit, make him work a little harder from underneath, expose him.
But let me say this, and I don't think you can dispute this fact. CM Punk is a great wrestler. He's been wrestling for years.
He is very good.
He's got skills.
Yeah,
I've
never said he's not.
Comparatively speaking, is the point you're making, to a Triple H.
Yeah. I mean...
But it's a different story than a brand new Wade Barrett coming in and working with a Triple H or a John Cena, which we saw, obviously. That's
Wade
a different
Barrett's
scenario.
a grown man.
Well, CM Punk's a grown man.
Right, but Wade Barrett's like 6'3", 6'4". He's like 265 pounds. Punk is lucky if he's $185. That's a big difference. You don't understand. When you see H and Punk next to each other, and Punk is out of the baggy shorts and the T-shirt, and H is out of the suit, it's like Jack and the Beanstalk.
So CM Punk should wear a suit?
You're missing the point.
No, I see the point entirely, but it feels as if you're diminishing the abilities of a CM Punk.
I'm not. I said he's a great talent. I said he's a great wrestler. I'm just saying it's going to look completely different. I mean, it's going to look... You know what? John Cena is built the same as Triple H. Okay? But they're both from the same era. H is a little more old school.
Right.
He's going to carry himself differently.
What was very evident, and to the point you've been making, when Kevin Nash got involved on Tuesday, I think there was something very, very interesting that happened. You saw Kevin Nash come down, he's a little upset. Not in the match anymore, Night of Champions. And he goes after CM Punk. CM Punk, gets kicked and falls down. And then Triple H gets shoved down. And David Hero, something very profound happened at that moment. There was such an amazing difference in the believability of the interaction between Kevin Nash and CM Punk and the interaction between Triple H and Kevin Nash.
And that's because one person is in it for himself and the other person gets it. You can connect the dots and cross the I's and dot the T's.
When he shoved Triple H down, that was a get up out of your chair moment. It was like, oh my God.
It, didn't he?
Yeah, it was believable. Conversely, when he shoved CM Punk down, it was just like...
No, you would have thought that Nash hit Triple H with the boot.
Yeah.
And that he pushed CM Punk. If I'm CM Punk, I put my flying shoes on, and I get up so high for that boot and look like it kills me to get the sympathy from the crowd.
Right. Yeah.
He didn't do it.
And it chopped like a old pair of shoes, cheap steak.
It looked terrible.
Triple H is very undervalued in the wrestling business. Let me explain what I mean by that is. Triple H has an intellect about the wrestling business that is seemingly unparalleled. He, as you said, gets it. He knows what's right and what is going to be most effective. May not always be the right choice from our standpoint as fans, but he gets it. And I've said this many times before. It was WrestleMania 22 in Chicago when I got it, when I erased the hate for Triple H and saw how brilliant he was. Because all week long he talked about how easy it was going to be to defeat John Cena. And he ultimately ended up losing John Cena at WrestleMania, and I believe he tapped out, as a matter of fact. All week he carried himself in such a way that you had no doubt in your mind that Triple H was going to destroy John Cena at WrestleMania 22. And it was at that moment, during that week, that I realized how brilliant he was. And you just see it in the way he carries himself and how the intensity just gets turned on and how he can state things to a CM Punk or whoever else it might be so matter-of-factly, and then that B word comes into play again, believability.
If Triple H wasn't with Stephanie McMahon, I don't think he would have had as much heat in the past 6-7 years.
Exactly. Yeah. Because whether it's true or whether it's not true that there's influence that he gets because of that relationship,
let's not forget,
that's going to be the assumption.
Killer Kowalski,
who trained Triple H,
trained him. was one of his mentors. Ric Flair, one of his mentors. Shawn Michaels, one of his mentors. He learned from some of the 3 best guys in the ring. You can't blame the guy. Hey, in this business, everyone is out for your spot. If you don't take it and grab it and hold it tight, you're going to lose it. Look how many guys have lost their spots due to injuries or because they were the nice guy in the back.
Right. So you're saying you got to be an asshole to get over?
Absolutely. You gotta take care of yourself first.
Was Sin Cara taking care of himself when he kicked Daniel Bryan in the head on Tuesday night?
Talk about, that was a life-saving moment for the Sin Cara character. Because there's been so much talk about who is he, who isn't he, you know.
It's the third Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, you know, is it Dwayne Gill under the mask? Is it not? You know, it's like, turn him heel. Brilliant. Because now it's forgotten. Who cares anymore?
Right.
Now he doesn't have to wrestle like Sin Cara.
Right.
Now he can wrestle a little bit differently and not worry about all those crazy moves.
John Cena calls out Alberto Del Rio. We talked about this a little bit earlier. Obviously, Alberto Del Rio not able to attend.
Why is Cena so upset with Del Rio? I don't get it.
Because he believes he's wearing his WWE Championship belt.
Yeah, but I mean...
Technically, he is.
I mean, he is angry with him. I mean, it's ridiculous. He wasn't that angry at Nexus when they crushed his skull.
I love Wade Barrett reminding John Cena about how he owned him.
Yeah.
That was tremendous.
He wasn't that upset then. He wasn't that upset when Randy Orton kicked his dad in the head. You know, but he's mad because Del Rio punched him in the head with a scarf.
It's
and
the rental car.
Cashed in
John
the money
Cena
in the bank.
loves cars. He's upset that Alberto Del Rio perpetrates, as they say in some parts of town.
You know what? Alberto Del Rio got over. That's all that matters.
Got pulled over? That's why he had to go back to Mexico?
He was put on SmackDown with really not a whole lot behind him, and he took that character and he got himself over. And that frustrates certain people.
SmackDown, as it's in its super form this past Tuesday, certainly delivered, and another great matchup between Christian and Randy Orton.
Fantastic. As much as I don't want to see those guys wrestle again, because I've seen it so often,
You do.
I can still watch them wrestle again. That was a great cage match.
You can't plan chemistry, can you? I mean, you can once you find it, but you can't. The reason they work so well together, Christian and Randy Orton, is because they work so well together.
What that match told such a great story, and the way they did the finish, the RKO off the top rope,
Which was ended it.
I mean, it was the big move. It was the crushing blow. There's no way for Christian to come back from that, and they put an end to that feud. And let me say, both guys did themselves and the wrestling business extremely proud.
That was Super SmackDown this past Tuesday night. As I said, overall success for the Sci-Fi Network and World Wrestling Entertainment. We'll see what happens going forward with SmackDown on Tuesdays, whether or not it will be airing live, which I definitely am in support of. David Hero, we're going to take another time out, and when we come back, we're going to be joined, or we're actually going to go to a pre-taped interview with Ring of Honor President Cary Silkin, who's going to talk about Ring of Honor and Ring of Honor's move to broadcast television. This is the Pro Wrestling Report, PrimeTime TV. We'll be back in a moment.
Peter Richards, Ring of Honor World Champion. Pro Wrestling Report is coming to My 24, Milwaukee. Get ready.
Tired of all the lies, rumors, and assumptions in wrestling news? So are we. Join us each week for the Pro Wrestling Report on ESPN Radio for the latest news and views on pro wrestling. Visit us at pwrshow.com to check the latest schedule.
Feel like something big is going down tonight. Come on from the club, big bitch, and love, I promise.
The Pro Wrestling Report is coming to My 24 Milwaukee. Join us as we celebrate with Big Sexy Kevin Nash Friday, September 2nd at Showtime Sports Bar on Silver Spring in Milwaukee. And don't miss Ring of Honor Wrestling when it comes to My 24 Milwaukee on September 24th, followed by the Pro Wrestling Report with all the latest news from WWE, TNA, and Ring of Honor Wrestling. The Pro Wrestling Report, My 24, and Ring of Honor coming September 24th. Damian Nelson of the Pro Wrestling Report here with Cary Silkin of Ring of Honor Wrestling. We're in Chicago Ridge, big taping here today. It's the debut showing for Sinclair broadcasting stations all over the country. This is going to be a huge night for Ring of Honor Wrestling, but what does it mean for you? What is the plan, or what do you expect with this big graduation to nationally broadcast television?
It is a big graduation, and it's basically a dream come true. You know, Ring of Honor, we're going close to it's been 9.5 years. It's been hard work, and we've always prided ourselves in presenting the best professional wrestling in the country, maybe in the world. And now to have it visible on broadcast television in so many markets is so exciting, and we're prepared to give the people what we've always given them, and that is the best wrestling that we can do.
You say 9.5 years of Ring of Honor Wrestling. The journey has been a long one, and including taking you on HDNet for a couple of years as well. What differences might we see between the upcoming show and the show that was on HDNet?
I feel that right now the Ring of Honor crew, and we've had a lot of good crews over the years. You know, so many great alumnus have come to Ring of Honor. But this particular crew, and I can say this in all sincerity, is the hardest working, most cohesive unit that we've had. And I think the synergy or the timing of the deal with Sinclair and having this to be presented at this time is just great for us, and especially for the fans.
Right.
We presented a very good product on HDNet, and we're grateful for their participation in our legacy.
Yeah.
But it's really exciting now to be on, shall I say, real television.
A lot of new wrestling fans are going to find Ring of Honor. And what should they expect that's different from what we see on the current nationally broadcast television programs from WWE and TNA?
Well, I've said it many times, you know, and it's not to knock the other promotions. The other promotions have some great talent and some great wrestling, but we key on the wrestling. You know, there's, as in all wrestling, there's a little bit of a story, but in Ring of Honor, it's about the in-ring action, it's about the athleticism, and it's about the sport. You know, we treat pro wrestling as a sport, and everybody who's involved in Ring of Honor, we too are fans, and we like to present what we feel that we would like. And I think that's the reason why it works so well. And that will be evident tonight in Chicago, and everybody on the Sinclair network will get to see this, and we're very excited.
A lot of questions have come through about this move on Sinclair, and a lot of assumptions from a lot of wrestling fans that Ring of Honor is attempting to compete with WWE or TNA. Could you explain whether or not that's the case?
It's not the case. You know, it's a natural thing for people to feel that way, but you know, we are just concentrating on what we do, and we're not looking at the other guys, and we're not really interested. You know, we're interested in what we do, and there's been so much preparation put into this, and we're ready.
It looks like you are looking at this great setup here in Chicago Ridge. Looking forward to the debut on September 24th. I believe you go to ROHWrestling.com for all of the station listings where you can find Ring of Honor on your television. Cary, thank you so much for joining us here on the program, and best of luck to you and Ring of Honor. Welcome back to the Pro Wrestling Report Prime Time, and thank you so much to Cary Silkin of Ring of Honor Wrestling for joining us and talking some very good stuff about Ring of Honor and the history of Ring of Honor and what this deal means. And David, the most important thing I think to come out of that discussion with Mr. Silkin was whether or not Ring of Honor is competition or sees themselves as competition for WWE or TNA. And clearly that's not the case. As a matter of fact, next week on this program, we're going to be talking to the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. They're going to be featured on the premiere episode of Ring of Honor on Sinclair Broadcasting. Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin on PrimeTime
World's
next
greatest
week.
tag team. Well, don't call them
Wrestling's greatest
Yes,
tag team.
wrestling's greatest tag team.
I was corrected several times in my conversation with them, but that conversation will air next week right here on this very program. And, David Harrell, we got to go because we got to go get ready to...
Oh, I got to go pick up Nash at the airport.
Kevin Nash in Milwaukee tomorrow night. Showtime Sports Bar on Silver Spring, which is on the northwest side of Milwaukee.
Next to Milwaukee Harley and the
And there's
Joker's
a Harley
Barn.
Fest is going on this weekend.
It's going to be tremendous. There's a fabric store next door.
Which Harley should I bring? The hell does a fabric store have to do with anything?
Well, it's all in the same area. They make silk or, I don't know, something like that.
Oh. Kevin Nash tomorrow night in Milwaukee, celebrating the Pro Wrestling Report, moving to My 24 Milwaukee on September 24th.
Big sexiness.
And you can meet Kevin Nash. And, Kevin Nash is, the last time I saw Kevin Nash at a personal appearance, it was an enlightening experience at WrestleMania.
Yes.
Kevin Nash he pulls back, no punches. And you know what? How about a challenge out there, David Hero? There's some Nash haters.
Sure.
People say he's old. People say he doesn't have it anymore.
Show up and
People
tell
say
him
he's
that.
big, lazy, as CM Punk said. Come on down. And here's the thing about Nash. You can mention all that to him, because he's heard it all before, and he will explain to you why you might not be completely correct.
Right, and but first what he'll do is he'll take his big wallet out of his pocket so he can sit down and then talk to you about it.
That's tomorrow night with the Pro Wrestling Report team. Linda will be there, I believe.
Of course.
She is locked,
Why wouldn't she be
cocked,
there?
and ready to unload. And Miss October 2012. That's tomorrow night in Milwaukee. And we'll be back with you again this Monday night on 540
Imagine
ESPN.
a photo op with Linda and Big Sexy.
I don't think we need any more photo ops with Linda after seeing the calendar from
I
Coyote
mean,
Ugly
she's
this
like
past
comes up to
Monday.
about there.
Lower, I think. That's this Monday night on 540 ESPN. It's a Labor Day edition of the Pro Wrestling Report on 540 ESPN. And yes, David Hero?
Oh my gosh, I forgot to tell you. Jay Lethal, Monday night. Did you know that?
You know, I knew that there were some discussions about that. And,
I forgot to tell you.
Very happy to hear that Black Machismo is going to join us Monday night.
No. Jay Lethal.
Jay Lethal is going to join us Monday night on 540 ESPN. And actually, we've got some interesting guests lined up for the rest of the month of September as well. We're going to get that information out on our website, pwrshow.com, so you can check it out. Monday night, 10 o'clock p.m. I have a message for Chris Masters Monday night on the Pro Wrestling Report on 540
The Master Lock Challenge.
ESPN. And
You know what? I've noticed you've been working out. So I'm guessing you're going to... No, you're not going to say... No, you won't.
we'll see you Monday night on 540 ESPN. Hell no, we'll see you tomorrow night. Kevin Nash at Showtime Sports Bar right here in Milwaukee. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. The Pro Wrestling Report is coming to My 24 Milwaukee. Join us as we celebrate with Big Sexy Kevin Nash Friday, September 2nd at Showtime Sports Bar on Silver Spring in Milwaukee. And don't miss Ring of Honor Wrestling when it comes to My 24 Milwaukee on September 24th, followed by the Pro Wrestling Report with all the latest news from WWE, TNA, and Ring of Honor Wrestling. The Pro Wrestling Report, My 24, and Ring of Honor coming September 24th.